My name is Dan Lockton. I'm a PhD researcher at Brunel University in London, researching the area of what we call design with intent, which is how designers can use the design of systems and products and environments and services to influence the way people use them for social benefit. So, I mean, particularly I'm looking at environmental benefit. So, can we design things that help people use them in a more environmentally friendly way, or help people be more efficient in how they use them? Or is it better to design systems which kind of force people to use them in a particular way, or default to the most efficient setting? So I've been working on developing a kind of toolkit for designers that offers sort of different design patterns from lots of different fields, so kind of architecture and usability and like computer science and security and various bits of cognitive psychology and sort of the persuasive technology movement, to applying those techniques to different areas of design. So kind of analogues from different fields can be applied as design patterns to, well, any problem you can think about. So yeah, I mean, I'm in my second year, and it's going quite well. We've been testing kind of the design toolkit stuff with designers and design students so far, and I've got a couple of sessions lined up with design consultancies, which will be interesting to see how they use it. And the stage after that is testing actual products that we've redesigned to use some of these techniques, and it's probably going to be electric kettles because they're easy to measure the energy use on them. For example, I quite like, there's a product called the Eco button that's in response to the fact that lots of people don't understand how to put their computer into standby mode or hibernate it. You know, it's too many settings. You know, they don't understand why would you click start and then shut down in order to hibernate something. The Eco button is a single button, quite a large button with a USB connection that you just plug in, and one press of it puts the computer into whatever the safest standby or hibernation mode is. You know, as configured by the computer. So, and it gives you, when you wake it up again, it gives you a feedback on how much money you've saved the company, perhaps if it's, you know, if it's at work, and or yourself through doing that, and cumulatively as well. So over the course of months and years, you can see how much energy you've saved by doing that. That's quite a nice thing, because it doesn't force the person to do it, but it makes it easier by reducing the you know, the kind of the complexity of the process. And whether it's effective or not, and actually influencing people's behaviour hasn't really been studied. That's the sort of thing I'm trying to study in some of the tests. The sort of things which I don't like, or which I kind of think are bad, things where it forces the user to act against their own interests, basically, in order to fulfil someone else's desire of behaviour change. I mean, the most obvious example are like the kind of anti-homeless benches that have like uncomfortable armrests positioned multiple times along them, specifically to prevent people lying down on them. You know, and they are actually sold to councils on that basis, that this will prevent people lying down on the bench, or this bench is too uncomfortable for people to sit on for too long, so they won't do it. And I sort of feel that's kind of, you know, it's taking politics into an area of design where most designers aren't trained in that, or particularly interested in it, although they might be the more they become aware of it. But I kind of feel that things like that aren't going to encourage people to change their attitudes as long as with their behaviour. In fact, they're going to resent the behaviour change intervention. And there are certainly some examples with so-called environmentally friendly behaviour change examples where that, you know, that has been suggested. You know, things which will always default to a setting the user probably doesn't want, which is, you know, perhaps a very low power display or something. I mean, the worst example in Britain are the 3-pin light bulbs, which are, well, for all new houses in Britain, new build houses are required to have certain light sockets which will only accept compact fluorescent bulbs or energy-saving bulbs. And one of the ways that companies have done this, Eaton, the maker of these, the MEM range of bulbs, have, you know, they basically designed their own custom light fitting and bulbs with 3 pins on them, where a normal bulb won't fit in it. Which forces anyone who's got one of these houses and have this fitted as standard, if a bulb goes, they can't just buy even a normal compact fluorescent bulb. They've got to buy a special 3-pin one, which is functionally identical. It's just that the pins are offset slightly differently. You know, they cost sort of £12–15 each, as opposed to, you know, 80–90p for a standard compact fluorescent one. That sort of approach changes people's behaviour, but it actually ends up alienating them, and people are less likely to kind of agree with the behaviour change that they're being influenced to make.